up, my guys? We are back. This is the Juice Box. We have a little different vibe going on today, you know? Big Czar couldn't make it. He's out slanging some pucks. Shout out. Harry is not here quite yet. He'll be here. And we have one of our all-timers, long-time Juice Box podcast advocates. Been here since the beginning with us. Uncle AJ, what is up?
It is great to be here.
We're glad to have you here.
Sound
it's nice.
Am I all right?
Yep,
You're perfect. You're number 3.
You're sounding golden.
I really did not expect to be on here tonight. I just wanted to come and just chill and just have a good time and just relax and listen to you all, talk about everything. But I'm glad to be here. I'll just I'm gonna go with the flow.
Yeah,
this is like
go with
totally
it.
impromptu.
I
Go
like
with
it.
it.
We caught you with your pants
I
down.
know.
Yeah, just go with
Speaking
it.
of pants down. Is that a
That's a penis. That's a penis.
made out of Play-Doh?
No, that's not a Play-Doh penis. It's a
No.
glass penis.
Yeah, this was given to me as a gift.
There was another one around here somewhere.
No, this is it.
Oh,
I moved it over here because
Nice.
this is my penis. So yeah, it was given to me. It's an actual replica
that's what I was gonna say.
of my penis, and that's why I sit it in front of me so all the ladies know what they're working with.
Jake got this sculptor thing like from Neighbors. Like he sculpted it himself and made a mold, and
I
that's
made
it.
a mold. So we'll get to it, but you know how you are. You're revamping your clothing line, so I was thinking I needed another source of income, so I decided to do dildos. Didn't really work out very well though, because it didn't really please anybody, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
It's rather kind of sad. I mean, it always makes me want to say a prayer for you.
Please do.
I respect the hustle though.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Just
Thank you.
trying
Heavenly
new
Father,
avenues.
You give us all gifts. Some of us, you give gifts that we appreciate. Some of us, we receive gifts that we just don't understand. Other people, like Jake, we have these kind of gifts, and I'm not sure whether he appreciates it because, what if it could be worse? But anyhow,
I don't think it's
so
much
please,
worse than that.
please watch over Jake as he continues to find out what to do with his glass penis.
Amen.
Amen. That was a great,
Amen. Thank
great
you.
and thoughtful.
It was a good prayer.
Have you all ever prayed on the juice box before?
No, that was
That
the
might
first
be
time.
the first one. See, how many firsts have you
I know.
been
Well,
for here?
Czar wouldn't like that though. Isn't he an atheist?
Yeah, you did. Well, all people that have red hair are atheists.
That's actual fact.
Is it true?
It's
Really?
true. Yeah.
Statistics.
I mean,
across the world.
I'm not judging. I'm not
It's
not
like-
judging Czar because he's
you haven't
not
seen,
here.
You haven't seen that Venn diagram, statistical Venn diagram, throughout taken in the whole world. It's they're completely together. It's one is ginger and one is atheists, and
Yeah.
it's just one circle.
And it just makes the color black, which is odd.
Yeah.
You think it would be orange for
I
ginger.
swear I didn't
but
know that. I don't
Yeah.
even know why we're talking about this.
Well,
Why
you
do we-
brought it up.
You brought it up.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
I love it, actually.
All right. Well, I'm diving right into
Let's
this.
go.
Well, wait. I have to congratulate you on your
Uncle
upcoming
AJ.
nuptials. It's very exciting.
Thank you.
I mean, they're not. It's not upcoming.
No, well, yeah, upcoming is a
eventually.
yeah.
I think it's
comes,
wonderful.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy. I never, completely honest, year and a half ago, never would have thought a year and a half later I'd be engaged to a beautiful soul and a beautiful woman. So I'm very thankful for that. It's crazy how fast your life can change. So we just gotta take it for what it is, because you never know what's gonna happen. But
You just got to grab it by the balls.
you do, and I'm very thankful. Shout out Angie, and thank you, Uncle AJ.
I
Thank you.
remember when I first met Angie, if I may, since we're just kind of
You may.
Yeah, I think I just came to watch the podcast, and she was sitting over there. Hazel was here,
Mhm.
and
100th episode.
was that what it was?
Yep.
That is
And
what it was.
I kept giving Hazel like all these treats, and she said, "I don't think we should be giving her that many treats." And she called me out on that, and I was like, "I said, she's definitely a keeper. If she's protecting
is.
Hazel
She's
from a
very,
total stranger,
That
I
yeah, no,
I think it's good.
that's one of the many things I
Mhm.
love about her. Which, call me cheesy, call me a freaking simp, whatever you want. One of the things that genuinely made me fall for her is I looked at her and I was like, wow, she will be a great mom.
Yeah.
One of the
Mhm.
big things that makes me love her. So that is a fact. Yeah.
It's adorable.
Sometimes you gotta shout out your loved ones. You know what I'm
Agreed.
saying?
Oh,
Nothing wrong with showing a little feelings.
no, absolutely not.
It's 2022,
wonderful.
baby.
Yeah, it's
Wonderful.
2022.
If I want to cry on the podcast, I will cry on the podcast.
If I want to snuggle the bros, I'm snuggling the
Yeah,
bros.
you know what I mean? Like let's quit fronting about toughness and can't show feelings. I'll show all my damn feelings.
Yeah, dude.
How about that?
If you want to be one of those guys that goes to the gym and shoots up creatine and doesn't allow yourself to snuggle with the guys on a nice evening watching a great flick, then I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Facts. Creatine, hell of a drug.
Hell of a
Love
drug.
It. Gets you a nice pump. Let me tell you that.
Jack the fuck up.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you take creatine?
Does it look like I take creatine? I take anything but creatine.
Okay.
That's ABC for short.
That's ABC.
Anything but creatine.
Short.
Oh, that's
Anything
really
but
good.
creatine.
That's good. Do you take creatine?
No, I did in the past back in my meathead days. I'm not much of a meathead anymore, but it's nice. Get you a nice pump. It's like pre-workout on steroids.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Some people choose creatine, others choose gluten. You can tell which one I picked.
The gluten.
bread is
Absolutely.
good. Bread, I like bread.
Nothing wrong with some bread.
No.
Agreed.
But do you want me to just dive right into our
fucking
pre-recording
do it.
talk? All right. So I saw this crazy conspiracy, and it's crazy, but it made me think, like, what if it's actually true? This guy, I think it was on Rogan too. I forget his name. He was talking
Seth
about
Rogen? Joe Rogan.
Yes, Joe Rogan. How like everything we've been taught about the globe and the map and everything is just a complete lie, and that there's more land to be discovered, like outside of Antarctica. Like it past Antarctica, it just keeps going. And I'm just
What?
like, what if that's true? Nobody goes to Antarctica.
Okay, so let's hold on. Let's ask this question. Has anybody sailed in a circle before?
So that doesn't take away the fact that it's a circle. There's just more land down in the bottom in Antarctica that you don't see on a map.
Got you.
See what I'm saying?
Also, Antarctica has not been completely mapped correctly.
I guess we could say
Is that what you're saying?
yes, we
Okay.
could say that.
There are parts of it that have not been discovered. So
Yes.
to speak.
Yes. Which is very interesting
which
to me.
I could think of the reason being that that's where the aliens probably are.
Dude, and that's literally what the guy said. I swear to God. He was like, well, the aliens, they're not from outer space. I forget what the term he used for the land I'm talking about. He was like, they're from, quote unquote, Antarctica. And I'm like, dude, what? Like, what if that's true?
So what? So
Well, like, you know what I'm saying? How would we know? How would us three know? We wouldn't know.
I'm with you.
We just trust that everything we've seen on a globe is factual. Have you sailed around the world? No.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying?
I do know.
There we
what
go.
you're
I
saying.
do. I totally understand. I
Maps?
believe I was on this podcast one time and got chewed out for saying that the world was flat. And like, how
Well,
do we know that?
that's ridiculous.
What's the difference between saying that and saying like there are things that we don't know and we're just taking it by what anyone else says? I
Okay,
mean, it's the same argument that you're
yes,
making. Here.
That's true.
That is
I
I mean,
true.
it's literally the same
We
argument.
very
but
true.
it is the same argument. So yes, you have
So
some
we don't
truth.
know. It's
We
just-
don't know.
Like we've seen pictures of the globe, but we don't know if that's actually the globe.
You're right.
It's
We
very
don't
true.
know that.
That's exactly
We
what
literally
I said.
don't know that.
But hold on. Shouldn't this make you happy that we've evolved over time and now we're thinking differently
Yeah.
instead of just being on one
So
aisle
here-
or the other?
You know what, Jake? I love that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because
Um,
that is something I say multiple times to people around me. Like, you are allowed to change your mind.
100%.
Just because
Oh,
I
yeah,
said
absolutely.
something a year, I'm not saying this to you. I'm just saying it to the world.
He's saying
just
it to the
because
Gregs.
I'd said something, well, not necessarily, maybe.
Kidding.
Just because I said something a year ago that I thought whatever was whatever, and now today I'm saying, well, maybe that is true, or maybe I like it, doesn't mean I'm contradictory. It just means that my thought process on it has changed.
Boom.
There we go.
Well, they say that you're like, how old are you now? What, 25?
I'm 27.
27. What are you, like 35?
Turned 47. No, I turned 30 in December.
Well, I think it's like the male brain really doesn't develop
Until 25, right?
25, no, 25, 26, 27.
See,
That's when it's really developing.
I'm
and so
just
like you're
still
just coming into
developing.
your own.
I'm still developing. That's-
Harold.
Oh, look who made it.
Speaking of somebody that doesn't have a developed brain yet, Harry Slider.
Harry Slider, everybody. Woo!
So you're going to have to just give him the cliff notes of what you said.
So
Sorry, I'll pick up.
I'll just briefly tell you the conspiracy I heard.
Hey, Bubba.
How's it going, Beacon?
I'm doing all right. Can I just say hello to him?
No,
before you
say
get-
it.
Dude,
Yes.
say whatever you want.
How you doing, bud?
Doing okay.
Okay, good. All right. He's talking about conspiracies.
I love conspiracies.
So you're gonna think I'm crazy for this one, Bubba, but I saw this guy talking about how like there's land outside of Antarctica that is not shown on the maps or the globe, and they just want us to think the end is Antarctica, but there's actually other lands that have not been discovered. And I'm like, how do I know? I've never been to Antarctica, right? Like we just believe the map,
Yeah.
correct?
And whoever's like all the satellites are they're just all gatekeepers.
Yeah,
He
dude.
gets it.
Yeah, they're
But-
just gatekeepers. But that does not even take away from the satellite pictures. They're just not showing us that specific picture of the world.
Yeah, you
You
know
see what I'm
how
saying?
you know how when you upload a picture of you and your current girlfriend onto Facebook, and it's a great picture of you, and it gets a bunch of likes, and then you guys break up, and you slice that shit in half, and you take her part away. That's what the gatekeepers are doing to us. They're giving us a little nibble, but they're not giving us the whole picture because we're not developed yet to be able to handle the truth of what's really going on.
Do you think that they want us to develop an interest in that, and they're like luring us down there like a fisherman would do for a fish? Like we're trying to get you down here, and we need you to come of your own volition. Like you want to come and find out what's down here, and it's all set up.
So think about this,
Mhm.
and I've said this a couple times, but I'll say it to you. Years ago, they were making the movies like Eagle Eyes, the perfect example of how. Long story short, if you haven't seen it, Shia LaBeouf, he's being followed and
Oh.
controlled by all the.
Shia LaBeouf
He's
again?
a fucking man.
God.
Fucking man. He's being controlled by all like the phones, and like they can track him through all the cameras, and then you fast forward and you realize that they can do that with all street cameras and our cell phones and everything like that. Now all of a sudden, all the new movies that are coming out have to do with different dimensions and multiversal stuff. Not even the superhero stuff, but that other movie that just came out, like Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. There's a lot of movies that are coming in that direction. What if that land that we don't see is the portal to
Dude,
the other dimension?
dude, it could be.
And that's why they can't show it, because they know once we figure out that you can correct any kind of course, we're just going to take over the world, and these governments aren't going to be able to control us juice box dogs.
Wait. Oh, go ahead, Bubba.
I nope. Go ahead. No. I had nothing to input.
What if? And I'm gonna buy into this just a little bit,
Buy into
based
it.
on
Love
what you're
it.
saying. What if it's not just like a small conspiracy? What if that all this talk of like the whole MCU and the multiverse, DC's doing it as well. The other movie, Everywhere You Can Be But Nowhere,
Yeah,
whatever that
yeah,
is
yeah,
called,
that's it,
something
that's
like
it.
that.
That's what it's called.
Like it's
That's what it's
all
called.
like everything's like different timelines, etc. Different. What if all these movies were created in the sense to prepare us for what is actually reality, to make it
Dude.
easier for us to accept it? And what you're
Fact.
saying is like that makes sense then, because I think that's what society does. I think they prepare us eventually for what is going to happen in the future, and we see it, and we think it's happening later than farther in the future than we think it is, but it's actually happening right now.
Yeah.
Because why back in the
Facts.
50s and 60s, when they would have all these aliens come around, the
Mhm.
newspapers initially, they would report that it was something crazy and some wild alien came, yada yada, and then they would make them retract it and put something else out.
Mhm.
Said that no way aliens were ever real. Years go on, you make the alien movies, all of these movies where aliens come down from the sky and attack the Earth, and now all of a sudden in 2020 they decided to be like, aliens are real. There's a
Dude,
lot of things out there.
Do you know what I love? Like, Greek gods and shit. Like, the Greek gods were actually aliens that came down
Wow.
to Earth.
I've
Bruh.
never heard that. That's,
Whoa.
That's pretty.
Think about
Is that
that.
breaking news?
Think
Isn't
about
that like
that
Chariots
one,
of the
Harry.
Gods from like 1970s?
I
That's
don't
what
know.
they said. Like,
Oh, it could be.
I mean, that was a big. This was. Were you born
Yeah, I was born in 1970.
I was
Well,
74.
Yeah.
when I was growing? That was a big thing. It was like Chariots of the Gods, and you had to read the book. A movie came out. Everything was tied into not the pyramid. What like the Aztecs, the Incas,
The
and
Mayans.
and everything related to that had to do with like the leaders and the not the pyramids. What am I thinking about?
The pyramids.
The temples. Yeah,
The-
they had
I feel
everything.
like Giza wants to come
Yeah,
out of my
they
mouth.
were like actually aliens that were coming in. Yes, they were actually aliens and not
Oh.
actually gods, and that the Mayans and the Aztecs actually thought
Yeah.
they were gods.
All their
They
gods,
were
all the
and
gods they
actually
worshipped,
aliens,
all these
yes.
statues
Yes.
and shit that they
Yes.
sculpted were
Yes.
actually
Mhm.
aliens,
because it
not gods.
like why in Egypt were they real big with the Sphinx, like the thing that
yes,
looked like
shit
the
like
cat.
that. Yeah.
And then in Guardians, or not Guardians of the Galaxy, Captain Marvel, they have that cat that's like a monster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So what if it's just, excuse me, an alien cat came down and they worship this cat?
Yeah.
Because here
You don't know.
Listen, I'm gonna dive even deeper, dude.
Oh no!
Let's dive even deeper.
Can
All
we
right.
get deeper?
We can, Bubba.
What?
We're
Go ahead.
on this rock, right? And everybody just assumes that this is the first time ever on this rock that we've ever had this much technology and this much advancement. Everybody just assumes that we are the first ones. We cracked the case. We figured it out. We have phones. We have internet. We have all this shit. Everybody assumes it, but nobody ever wants to think about maybe this has happened multiple times before and they got wiped out by global warming or like something for real happened or an ice age or things like that. Like there's a lot of things coming out now that the Amazon, it's called like the LiDAR thing. You probably heard them talk about on Rogan, where like they can see the Amazon rainforest at one time definitely was a booming civilization. Like you can see roads and waterways and bridges and things like that. And the reason the Amazon's the way it is and it's so diverse is because that's stuff that was planted that people brought there a long time ago. And if you think about it, if like when the Europeans went to the Indians that wiped them out, maybe the same thing happened there. And all it would take is a couple, like 50 years for everything to grow up over it. So like everybody just assumes we're these smart ass human beings. The point being is like it could have happened before multiple times. And people just got wiped out because everything was put on stone or pieces of paper, things that could disappear. So you could technically wipe everything out.
Yeah. I'm like going in a crazy rabbit hole mind right now.
Am I not right?
No, you are right.
I'm right.
I know.
And like everybody just
I'm just like questioning my whole existence right now. I'm like, how do I know anything before I was born was real? Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? My mind is going crazy. That is, dude.
it's true.
Yeah.
It's so true. It's scary to think about. You shouldn't think that way. But you know, sometimes fucking listening to the same old politicking and it gets old. You got to fucking open your mind and crank it up and think about things that make you feel funky.
I agree. I mean, is there anything really wrong with questioning your own existence? Like, why are you here? How did you get here? How are we all here? I mean, that's what we've always been asking as human beings.
Yes.
Wouldn't
I
you
agree.
say, Bubba?
I would agree.
I think.
I
Okay,
th-
thank you.
You ain't
Dude,
going to see that on
I
TikTok.
think I do. I think questioning.
See what on
Isn't it,
TikTok?
I mean, like the greatest question ever, though? But it's a great question, but we'll never know.
We'll never ever know.
And that's the
What
purpose of
question?
life.
Like, well, I mean, there's a few, like what the purpose of us
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
how we got here,
Yeah, I
Why
agree.
are we here?
And
what are we
I-
doing
Is
next?
there a reason?
Yeah.
The quest for purpose.
I
And,
think
yeah,
you're being more proactive in your faith and life if you're questioning instead of just blindly agreeing with everything. That's just me, though.
Because
Oh,
I
Don't you
might
agree,
be
Uncle AJ?
Oh, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I I'm very skeptical about everything.
Yeah, but
Yes,
I think
absolutely.
it's better. I think you can find more meaning, like if you're questioning instead of just saying, "Oh, yeah, that's right," and then moving on. You know,
Yeah, but then you could also flip side is if you don't
spin
have a
zone.
firm grasp. Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Go ahead. You said flip side, and I just said spin zone. Go on.
What happens when you continue to doubt things and you
Yes, that is also true.
lose your hold on like what do you really believe
Believe.
and what do you really know?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
That's
I
all I'm
agree.
saying. That's where I am on it.
Yeah, no, I know. And I don't know, it might not be right to say this because it is a touchy thing going on right now, but when I think about that stuff, it relieves my regular life anxiety because I'm sitting here thinking like, what am I worried about this for when fucking Thanos can come down and snap me away if he wanted to? Like
Yeah.
those and I know Thanos would never happen.
It's just an analogy.
and
I
yeah,
get it.
like that kind of stuff could literally happen. We just take for granted that we're floating in space and a fucking giant rock hasn't hit us yet and killed us yet. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
mhm.
all.
Or
it's
maybe
just-
it has and this is all but a dream.
Whoa,
That's what
Dude,
I'm saying.
I
You can
swear,
go down that
dude,
road.
I
you know?
swear to God, I went down that road freshman year of high school. Like, and I don't mean for an hour. I mean for months, where I was questioning if anything around me was real, and I was just in some dream. I
See-
swear, and it was. I was in a weird place for a minute. You know, you're a young kid. You don't know what's really happening, and I questioned everything, and it was weird. I swear, this is God's honest truth. I
what were you
swear to
gonna
God.
say, Harold?
I don't know. I just feel like that's where I kind of stop with the like we're all.
Well, I wasn't even doing it on purpose. It was just my mind just
No, I
got
know.
so hooked on it. You know what I mean?
You don't ever get stuck thinking about it though.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know about all that.
no,
never
yeah,
know.
it's
But
crazy.
none of us. It's
It's
like
crazy.
The
It-
Lost. Did you
yeah.
ever watch Lost?
No, but I
It's like they were
Mhm.
never there. No, they were there.
see. Yeah, like it is crazy to think like that. But I was like in a weird state of questioning everything, and it was like unhealthy almost.
And dude, I mean, I've said this multiple episodes ago, but that's what I think about dreams too. Dreams might not be dreams. Dreams might be things that are happening in another life that you're living. And when you go to sleep, you are just waking up in another quote unquote universe.
So you are so susceptible to what's going on in the world now then. You know what I mean? Like the whole multiverse thing. Like
Yeah.
you're buying into it like hook, line, and sinker now.
But
Right? Aren't you?
See, that's a point though,
because I would personally, this is just me, I'd rather get involved and get my mind stuck in that stuff than worrying about how a loaf of bread in 10 years is going to be $15 and I'm not going to be able to feed my family in real life. So if I worry about the stuff that's not real, it just kind of distracts me from the inevitability of being a Chinese citizen.
Do you
one
really
day.
worry about things that aren't real? Do you know what I mean? Like what you just said. Like you want to worry about things that are like not real so that you're not dwelling on whether like bread is going to be really expensive. Is that stuff that are you really concerned about bread being that expensive?
Absolutely. I mean, I go to stores on a weekly basis.
Not to take this in a different direction. I was just
No, I like
you
it.
know, which
Keep
is
going.
I
I'm
go
sorry,
to stores
you
on a weekly basis that are mom and pop stores, gas
Yeah.
stations, convenience stores, grocery stores, and to see how empty the shelves are every single time I go in these stores because they can't get this item or this has become too expensive or people aren't coming there anymore because now they can drive 20 minutes to the Walmart and get it cheaper. Like that's real life stuff that's going on. And West Virginia is a poor state already. To just see how different it was from 2019 to now it's absolutely terrifying. So I would rather not think about that stuff. I would rather thinking about what's going to happen when some alien honey comes down here and spits and then I have to move to Mars and I don't ever get to see my family again. That's what I would rather worry about.
Yeah.
It's just a little deep dive.
Dude, when I was a kid, I used to worry. Think about this. Like, I got to have some kind of weird fucking brain diagnosis. When I was a kid, I used to get so dive deep into this thought that if one giant cloud engulfed the earth, we would all suffocate and die.
That's true.
And I used to think about that. So like, and I would look up at the, you know how like when it's an overcast day and you look up in the sky and you can't see like any break in the clouds, it's just all cloud. I used to just get nervous. I was like, dude, we're about to die,
It's about to be over.
right?
Would that be like I'm just asking.
Ask
would that
me.
be equivalent to like my being afraid of like there's a monster in the closet, like when I'm sleeping that somehow I'm going to be dead if I go to sleep?
Yeah.
Is that the equivalent?
I
of
would-
that?
I think
I would
that's
agree.
equivalent.
Probably.
Yeah.
I would
So
agree.
It's like the irrational fear that we have.
And
Why do we have irrational fears?
Well, so you know the thing you just described. Now they're saying, which again, I learned this stuff on the biggest news network, which is Joe Rogan's podcast, the only news that matters. That the reason we are scared of monsters is because it's a gene thing over the years where when our ancestors were kids, they were actually afraid of big cats coming to eat them and like bears and shit like that, like real life stuff. And that just kind of carried through our genes until now. And that's why when we're little, we're afraid of monsters because years ago we were afraid that a tiger was going to snatch that ass
I
up.
totally believe.
I mean,
that.
that's probably true.
That I believe
sure.
that. It's, yeah.
It's like fight or flight.
Yeah, we have a lot of like generational like stuff that helps us when we're even little. You know what I mean?
It's cool.
Like reflexes
It
and
is.
shit. Yeah.
It is cool.
It's super cool.
Genetics is pretty cool. I would like to do oh, what's that thing?
23andMe.
Is that where you test all your ancestor? Where you?
Oh, Ancestry.com.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. But then I wonder how true is this? You know what I'm saying?
Well, dude, according
See,
to
here it. see?
according to the
Full
tinfoil
cir-
hats,
This conversation just went full fucking circle.
according to the tinfoil hats, don't do it because then the government has your
Yeah.
genes.
So if you ever murder somebody,
Oh, see,
no, they literally can.
Yeah.
I think that's like there's
Whoa.
precedents of like that happening before. I
Damn.
think maybe I'm wrong.
Sounds good to me. I like it.
They're going to get it anyway at some point in time.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
if they don't already have it, it's like what you were saying. Like you're worried about like what's going to happen in the future. It's if we're worried about it now, it's probably already happened.
But
100%.
you want to know a
right.
crazy thing? What is this? So, is this just maturity? This is facts too. Like when I was like I've mentioned multiple things when I was a kid that I just like you said I was irrationally scared of. Just didn't make sense, but I was afraid of those things happening. But now, I texted Jake. We were texting today or yesterday. Now, and this is true. Like I literally don't care about anything. Like I don't care. Like I'm not scared of anything that happens. Like if across the fucking news they said we're getting invaded by aliens, we got an hour to live. I'm just like, oh well, see you guys.
JT's going to be like, Angie, can you get my frosted mug? And
Yeah.
I want that
Let's
IPA
just sit
in the bottom
Let's
drawer.
just sit on the porch and drink it
I
away.
think that is like a sign of getting older almost
Yeah.
for me. And maybe
know what
it's
I
just
mean,
because
though?
we have gone through so much
Yeah.
shit in 2 years, but it's like, what else is going to
Yeah,
happen?
and like when like there's news things that come out, like all this shit, I literally don't know or like read into any of it.
Because
And that's like a fact. Like
I'm
facts.
100% convinced before I die, there's going to be a real life Red Dawn in this country, and nobody's going to know what to do.
Yeah,
I'll-
I don't know.
Never mind.
I think that might be. I genuinely think that's impossible
How?
because I think we are just armed to the fucking gills
yeah,
and just
but,
would
you
just
know,
shoot every airplane down. You're right. I have no idea, but I don't think that would
Because
happen.
because like truthfully, I mean like not to sound like because me and Doopies were kind of down in the dumps in this latest episode, not to sound like medieval and shit. But I think we're to the point now, like Russia invading Ukraine, that shit ain't stopping there. It's only a matter of time before all these other countries, aka China,
Yeah.
just waits and they'll invade Taiwan. Like we are literally all that's happening right now is history is repeating itself.
Yeah.
Like everybody just assumes it's gonna be kosher and you're gonna be eating your fucking dill pickles on the side of your sandwich that you get at the restaurant. It might not be that
Yeah.
way anymore.
I got to backtrack for a second. I just want to. I'm sorry, Bubba.
No, go ahead.
This is very quickly. Uncle AJ, I said I don't care about anything. I don't want that to mean like a sad thing. Like I am
No,
a happy, positive guy. I mean,
well,
I'm not
ignorance is bliss.
I am not afraid as like as to what's going to come in the future, like with all the craziness in the world, is what I mean.
What is what craziness in the world? You all keep saying this. I'm just asking, like you were talking about a loaf of bread. I get what you're saying. I understand what that represents. What craziness are you talking about that you are saying?
The freaking farm thing, is that a secret?
No, so I will
That's
talk about
crazy,
this.
Uncle AJ.
So
Wait till you hear this one, Bubba.
listen to TTP episode 89, me and Doopies. It's probably towards the end. I don't know any names. I don't know where this is at. I trust. There is somebody that John knows that has a family friend that is in
John the Plaga?
Yeah, on TTP, yeah. On in the farming industry, okay? And like you know how these last couple months you've been hearing all the stories about how this farm is burnt down and this is burning down here in the Netherlands and it's happening in England.
There's
and
been like
everything.
30 some freaking food warehouses that just got burnt down over the past few months that you don't hear about anywhere. But go on.
So this family, they get a letter in the mail, not marked, no return address, and it's literally a letter that says, burn down all your crop, warehouses, everything you have, and we will cut you a check for X amount of million dollars. And it freaks you out. It freaks me out because then it goes back to what we were talking about and this whole globalization, the great reset theory that has been around for probably a while, a long time.
I'm not sure how long it's been around. I think it's at least a decade that's been planning. Yes.
So basically the idea is that you have all these elites at the top and everybody, regardless what rock you're on, we're all a part of one happy family and nobody owns anything and we all just live this happy life and like rent stuff off of these people and the earth is just one entity of person. No more Olympics.
Like Bitcoin.
No more Olympics. Yeah, like Bitcoin. No more competing. We're all just going to go to work. We're going to love each other, and that's just going to be it. And it kind of feels like, why in the world would they be sending out letters for them to burn down all these farms and all of?
So that's like the end goal, though. Like some global elitist is like
basically wants to own the whole world,
ensuring chaos or poverty, so they can own everything.
Yes. And I'm not being a conspiracy.
Bubba's got the most the
voice of reason.
Yes, because
I don't know.
We just start spewing crazy shit. But go ahead, Bubba.
I was just feeling like you would think that like the global elitists would need like the underlying like industry and like coming up. You know what I mean? Like they would profit off of us, unless it's like I can see your theory in a sense where it's like North Korea.
Yeah,
like that fat fucking asshole. Because they're so it's resources, right? Like everything is resources driven there, so they don't necessarily need anybody else. That's why everyone's starving in North Korea.
So basically, I don't disagree with what you're saying, but here would be the clapback statement. If you get enough guys together that have enough money, they don't need those things because they can build their own and own their own, and then they would just pay. They would pay people to work there because people wouldn't have any choice because they own all of the businesses around. Which that again, I'm not saying I disagree with what you're saying, but I also think like if you get the richest people in the world together and you sit them around a table like they're the fucking superheroes or whatever, and they're like crossing their hands and they're like, this is all we have to do because we all have enough money to be able to afford all this, why not try?
Well, I always thought that I'm not an expert on the whole Great Reset. But I thought it was about one of the issues is getting rid of debt. Like our country right now is in so much debt, and it's going. I mean, the country will collapse if we ever have to pay that. So we just keep producing money. And the idea behind the Great Reset is that like everything is reset so that we don't have all this debt. all this debt that's hanging over everyone.
The
'Cause,
whole world is going bankrupt, is what you're saying.
right? And
basically.
yeah,
Whoa.
and so that way, so like, in order, if the whole world is going bankrupt, and that there are certain people in, I don't know if this
And then
is
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
I
no,
don't-
keep
don't
going.
and
quote
then
me on
that's
this.
how they get rid of all or fiat currency, and then everyone uses Bitcoin.
Yeah, get
Well,
get that mic in your face.
I don't know that everyone's going to use Bitcoin. What I'm saying is,
Is
there has to
Bitcoin
be
dead?
some has to be some common
Crypto's down.
common
yes.
exchange for that. But the idea is, like, wouldn't the world honestly be a better place? So, like, these mom and pop stores that you have, they're able to get the supplies that they need, and that they can live without and have a business without going into debt, simply to provide for themselves. And isn't that a vision that, we want to have a world that's a better place, where everyone in the world has adequate um, access to healthcare and to resources? And we can't do it the way we are now, because, like, in order to go to the doctor, some people can't go to the doctor because they don't have the money to do that. So wouldn't it be better if everyone had that type of equal access, and it was reset in a way that made the world a better place?
I agree.
I'm not saying I agree with that. I'm just saying that's
So
I
my
does
agree
thought.
with
that mean
everything.
capitalism ceases
That's what I was going
to
to say.
exist?
I agree with
from
everything
after
you
that?
say, but the problem with that being is we're just all assuming that by resetting everything, that
Mhm.
all these people that are owed money still aren't going to want to get their money. They're going to have to get paid somehow. And the way to get paid would be to have a group of people that have enough funds to be able to pay all of these quote unquote debts that are owed. Therefore, they would owe everything. Therefore, what you're saying could exist, but ideally, we still wouldn't own anything, because let's
Right.
be real, there's no way there's ever going to be
You will not own it.
yeah, there's never going to be some kind of reset where I can still have the opportunity to own my own house. Like,
Right.
if somebody pays everything off, whoever's that power is not going to be like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, you can't have this or whatever. So I like what you're talking about, but I also think it kind of ties into what I said. It kind of all works together, which sucks.
It does, and I think that's what I understand that you said you don't. I don't know if you were. I don't think you were claiming ignorance or anything. I just think you were saying you don't pay attention to what's going on in the world, and I think we have to do that, don't we? I don't think we can just look around and say, "Well, I can't control it, so I don't want to have anything to do with it." Because I think knowledge is power, isn't it?
Yeah, but
but you're like saying, "I don't want to have knowledge." I'd
I'm
rather
not
just
saying
be,
that.
You,
I
okay.
just want to focus on my family and my circle,
right. That's
and we have to get we work for what we're getting, and then I can't.
Well, you don't work independently from what you're getting. You're working within the greater scope of society. I mean, you don't exist in a vacuum. You and
No.
Angie and your dogs, you won't be like over here in your own little JT world enjoying everything.
Surprised.
I could
mean,
be.
You not real. Well, okay, you could be, but not realistic.
You're right.
You can't. So you're gonna have to be part of it. So is it better to be part of it? I guess the question then becomes, and I think is a fair question: is it better to be ignorant of what's going on around the world, because you ultimately will be happier, because the more you know about the shit that's going on in the world, the more depressing it is.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Bubba, what do you think about that?
I agree. That's our sad reality, and especially in the younger generations, it seems like that's where it's going. And you're right; it's you have to be knowledgeable, but are we making ourselves worse because of it in the contemporary times? Is yes. So I don't know, but at the same time, you can't lose a step, and then you're getting. Yeah, you're right. I don't know.
So then you go down this road, just like, if, as we said before, everything's interconnected. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What if you're going down this road, and that's the whole point, is that the younger generation has somehow developed this attitude, like, I'm not really concerned about what's going on. I just want to take care of what's going on here. That other stuff, I don't understand it, so I don't want to have any part of it. And that doesn't that feed right into that then, that, like, as soon as you don't realize what rights and what you have in this world and in this country, if you don't understand what they are, you won't know when they're lost.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll just be very ignorant here. I think people need to wake up, because if you look at history, all throughout history, the Greeks, the Romans, the Mayans, all these great empires that existed, and this isn't against any of this stuff because I do believe people have the right to choose what they want to be. But once the big issue becomes gender in history, looking back, once gender gets played and equal genders and everything like that, which again, I'm not saying I disagree with, that is when giant empires fall. And that is where this country is going right now. And dude, by 2050, dude,
Do you mean like when gender becomes like obsolete? Like, yeah,
when
like
when
no
when,
gender.
when speaking of gender is the highest problem that
Yeah,
people
yeah.
have in a society, that is historically when empires have crashed.
Yeah.
That's where we are right now, and that's why it's scary.
Did you see? This is just. I'm sorry. It's just funny. Like, I don't even know what it was, but it was it talking about like pregnancy or whatever, and the guy said literally a very basic statement like women are able to get pregnant or whatever, and some lady was like offended saying he was transphobic for saying only women can get pregnant. Did anyone see that?
No,
It
but
blew
it's
my
shocking.
mind.
I believe I did too, but I
That
think
blew
that's
my
the
mind.
very loud
Extreme. Yeah,
minority.
that's the
Yes.
extreme. Yes.
It's like I don't know.
that. You know what
that
that is,
shit
Bubba?
bothers me when like stuff like that gets is the top of every news. It like
I agree. Yes.
You know what that is though? That's the handful of people that yelled at the Steve-O concert.
Exactly.
You have
and it's
everyone.
the loudest
It's
minority,
not
but
concert, but show. You
Yeah,
have
but
5
is it a
people that
screen that's covering up something else that's going on. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
always think there's something else going on.
We're failing everything.
Do you are
This
I don't wanna
country's
make
the
us-
Wild West.
are you any of you watching the January 6th commission hearings?
No, hang them all.
I have not seen it.
Eliminate all of them.
Wait.
Anybody
no,
that
wait.
storms a
Seriously.
Capitol,
I don't even
anybody
know what
that
that is.
storms a Capitol should listen. Bye, see ya. You're dumb.
So okay, so not one of you is watching this?
No,
Nope. Don't even know what we're
Bubba?
talking about.
No, not even I.
Wow.
it's nothing compared to Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. I was watching that.
Well, I was too, I'm watching both. I was watching both of them actually. But like no, that's what I'm saying.
I'm kidding, obviously, what I just said, by the way, about everybody should be hung and die. I don't want people to die, but go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I knew that you were joking
Yeah.
about that. Yeah. No, I'm just saying like that's I think that's what we're talking about, like the Amber Heard and everything that's going on. That just controlled the news cycle while this was all going on. And so, that concerns me because I thought you were always like a history buff person, aren't you?
I mean, I am.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't understand why were you not watching that?
I don't know.
I'm not judging. No, I'm sorry. I'm not saying like
But I mean, that goes back to like, do you want to corrupt like whatever happiness you have by watching stuff that is like fuck those people? You know what I mean? Like I agree with that sentiment, but I don't know. But they're gonna go to jail, right?
Do you know what it's about? I'm just asking. Man, I don't want to take this in a different
No,
direction.
listen, go.
Take
You know what
it,
it's about?
Uncle AJ?
Run it.
I'm not judging. I'm just saying it's fascinating to watch. It's polarizing the country. A lot of people say that it's not they're going to be attacked from outside, that the country is going to be split down the middle in
Yes,
terms
Civil
of
war.
like a
I
civil
believe
war.
that. Yeah.
And that this is like a precursor to it. And so like to me, I think you have to educate yourself about this in order to understand like, is this what's happening? You know
Right.
what I mean? And so like if you don't watch, if you don't know, it's not just about the people they're attacking it. The committee is actually making statements. It's not a trial or anything, just presenting information they found. The people who are presenting everything. The committee's made up primarily of Democrats. There are 2 Republicans on there, but everyone who's been testifying, they've all been Republicans. And they're saying that allegedly, I want to say that Donald Trump orchestrated all this.
Which I believe. Just saying.
But that's
Or
but you don't know what I'm saying is
that's what I'm saying. I am just a completely unbiased
what I'm
rebuttal here. Maybe the crazy Donald Trump fans took something he said literally, because you know how he always
That's
says
true as well.
spews a bunch of shit. Like maybe they took one of his jokes very literally, and then that's what they're
Okay.
saying.
I believe I understand what you're saying, and that people do that, but that's why you have to watch this because they're putting out some information. It's really hard to say, well, do I not believe these people? Because the people who are presenting, they're diehard Republicans. They are like, these are like people that you want to have in the government. They're like, they seem to be very serious about what they're saying. They're saying he was told numerous times that there was no fraud. There was absolutely no fraud. Everyone was saying in the election that he lost the election, and he didn't listen to anyone. And he brought in people that said, well, this is how you can get this. You can get this, you can get them to overturn it, send all the electoral votes back to the states and have them recertify it so that you can win, which is, basically taking over the country.
Isn't that how George Bush won against Al Gore?
No, the Supreme Court did that. The
Supreme
Court decided that.
Can I give my ignorance? Sorry.
No, it's fine. All I'm saying is I don't know what the answer is. I just know that like there's something here that just doesn't make sense, and it's fascinating to watch this because when you watch it, you start asking yourself, do I believe this, or is this some kind of show? And a lot of people say it's a show. A lot of people are watching it and saying it's like I don't know. And if he was involved, like people died, and he intentionally sent people down and knew that the people were armed because they presented evidence that people have said he was told that the people that were coming there, the Proud Boys, they were armed, and they were saying that he sent them down to the Capitol knowing that they were armed, and actually said he wanted them to come into where he was giving his speech. I don't know if it's true or not.
Isn't that QAnon?
Yes. Yeah, it's all part of that, but what they're doing is they're presenting people that are saying that he did that. You can't influence people in terms of your rhetoric and what you say and what you do. And he's the president. At the time, he was the president of the United States. And he had a great deal of power.
Yeah.
And you all know with great power comes
great responsibility.
Right. And do you send a group of armed individuals down to the Capitol where they're certifying the next president?
Yeah, I'm with you.
So that's why I'm saying, like, I think you just gotta watch it and just say, like, did this really happen? Because then you start to wonder, well, what's going to happen in the next election cycle? If he runs again, if he's guilty of that, he's committed a crime. Should he be arrested?
So
I don't know.
My point on this is, I shouldn't say because I have no idea. I'm not. I've said I'm not informed enough. But whenever all the dust settles, I've seen a lot of that stuff too, and I think he probably at nothing else he knew, and he was okay with what was going on, obviously, because they said he was fighting to get out of the car because he wanted to join people that were going to the fucking Capitol. But at the end of the day, yes, that was a very polarizing, very important event, and if it has ramifications in the future, obviously it's very crucial and it's important, but individually towards Donald Trump, I don't know what the point is going to come to, because every time he's ever had a lawsuit or anything, he just puts it back for another 3 years. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's he's been sued 800 times.
Oh, I agree. I know that's why but do you not watch, you not pay attention because this has happened? I don't know. I don't want to. I'm sorry. I kind of.
No, I
you know what I mean?
like it.
It's like you
because I should know this stuff.
You should. And the last one is on. I believe the last one they're televising it tonight, live. But it's fascinating. It's all available on YouTube. You can. I always watch it on C-SPAN anyhow, and you can. It's just really interesting, and it's done so well. They incorporate people's testimony. And how we were talking earlier, like you said, not knocking John DePlog or anything like that. I'm not,
You can knock him.
No.
Knock his ass
what
up
I'm
a
saying
little
is
bit.
You got that information.
Yeah.
And so to me, the question then becomes, okay, so you believe this, and you're going to go John DePlog knows someone who says this is something that happened, and you're going to believe that this happened because you're seeing it happen on TV and in different places. And so then I'm skeptical about that because I don't believe that.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's fair. And you're entitled to believe it. But
which I do.
But I don't. I'm going to need 100% more evidence than that because I don't believe it. But
you haven't heard of word of mouth, Uncle AJ?
I'm skeptical.
It's a joke.
Okay. I'm just skeptical of word of mouth.
I
agree.
But word of mouth, though, Epstein's Island wasn't real. Bohemian Grove wasn't real. That was all just people making up stories and everything.
Right. There's a lot more to that we don't know.
But they're both true.
Right.
So I don't know. It's like you see it happening all across the world, and this isn't the first. I literally saw one dude flash one of the envelopes on TikTok. Remember, the video months ago about the letter that was sent for people to burn stuff, and then you hear this story, and it's like at a point of you're saying we should learn about the stuff through the hearings that are happening on TV. How do we know if any of that stuff's real? Because all that's been the last couple years is show. I mean, you have people like people that have just been trying to push things on people that don't have any facts of what they're talking about. Like early on, there was no way that the virus leaked from a lab, and now we're fast forward a year and a half, and it 99% was. So all of that stuff, and that's just an example. There's so many more. That's just the easiest one that came to my mind. All that stuff to me is just as controlled and like wishy-washy than just as word of mouth too.
I'm gonna politely disagree, Jay.
Hey,
I just think that to me, I think there's a difference between watching a hearing and listening to the people and being able to take out, step back and say, I choose to believe this person, or I choose not to believe this person. And I think there's, I think it's presented in such a way where it allows people to make that decision because they're not presenting it as a trial. And it's the same way with this. Like, I don't want to get it word of mouth, and I want to know more about it. And so I don't mind going down a rabbit hole as long as I'm sure of what's in the rabbit hole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just still going back to I'm genuinely trying to find a reason why I need to focus my energy on this stuff. I really don't know why. Like, what is me watching this hearing gonna do? It's just gonna take my energy away and focus on fucking some stupid thing that happened in the United States. Like, I'm being honest. Like, I gotta wake up and I gotta provide for my family,
For mines.
and that's what I gotta do. Like, I don't know why you guys can all come at me. I just don't know why I want to focus my energy
I believe
on
because
this example that you're using. I don't know.
because I believe the larger ramifications are if everyone thinks like you, like in a vacuum, like if you don't give a shit and like that's a personal choice and you may be better for it, but the other side is like if everyone doesn't give a shit and then in the future if something happens that this was a precursor to, then we're all fucked. And it's 1984.
It's just all anarchy.
Yeah, and we can't think for ourselves anymore.
And I believe knowledge is power. I mean, honestly, you don't feel like the more you learn about something, the greater understanding you have of the world around you, the more
I agree.
confident and more powerful you feel?
I feel, yeah, like I think knowledge is power and I think knowing things is powerful, but what is me knowing this example you're talking about? Like, what is that going to do for me? That's how I feel. That's just how I feel.
I don't know. I guess my question is to you, like, outside of your family, what is it that you think about beyond your family?
Uncle AJ,
Is this
a lot of
topic?
No, it's not.
I'm just asking. Like, I don't know, but like,
thing at all.
But I'm kind of with Bubba. Like,
no,
can we just?
Yeah,
that's fine.
Can you actually live in a vacuum and not know anything about the world around you and how it works? And don't you, as a citizen of the United States, bear some type of responsibility for knowing? Like, if our country is so great and so wonderful, shouldn't you know something about how it works and what's going on in the government?
Yeah. So the thing is, I'm the type of person, like, I accept what you guys are saying. I'm not shunning you and disagree. Like, I get what you guys are telling me. And I'm not even disagreeing that, yeah, maybe I should know these things. But to me, in my current state of mind, day-to-day life, I don't think, and see, like, you're right. It's going to go back to what Bubba's saying. It's bad if everyone starts saying these things. I don't know how my life is going to change if I know this stuff.
I just look at it as
maybe that's just my current state of mind right now. And when I,
if
when I get
push-
older, I'll feel like I should know. I don't know.
if push comes to shove, like and serious things are going on, I definitely will understand and know what's happening. The problem with all the stuff that happens today is so for the example of being more informed. So this is just one example we're talking about. So for me to be informed, I have to know one side's opinion. Then I have to dive in and learn the other side's opinion. Then I got to dig underneath the carpet and see what they're saying in the dark web. And then I have to jump on Twitter and see what those crazy motherfuckers are saying. And by the time that that's over, all I've become is depressed and confused.
It's called critical thinking. It's
Which
like that's what
I don't do.
Yes, you do. That's what's sad about it is you do. You do that all the time. You're a really thoughtful person.
Well,
I don't mean thoughtful like kind.
Appreciate that.
No, I mean like you do think of deep things, but like to me to say I don't want to do the work to try to understand.
I don't
something,
think it has anything to do with not wanting to do work.
I want to. Just said.
No,
I'm going because you're kind of rebutting what I'm saying too.
Oh, okay.
It has nothing to do with not wanting to do work. It's why do I don't want to do work on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the point.
Okay.
I don't know. Like you ask what do I think about? Uncle AJ, I do not think about learning about the government at all, ever in my life. I've been this way forever. I don't know anything about politics. And I've always been this way. It's not just because we keep saying the world is crazy and fuck everything. I've always been that way. I've never been like, and I'm not justifying and saying I'm right and you're wrong. I'm just saying I've never focused.
It's just, it gets super exhausting because you have these two sides that just don't choose to have a conversation and meet in the middle. It's like if JT says one thing and I say the other, they will believe those things until they're 90 years old and dead. And if I believe this, but I don't believe that, then all of a sudden I get labeled this thing that doesn't even make any sense. So it's just exhausting because you have one side that's like, this is just another random example. There's no way there was fraud in the election. And everything was to the numbers.
Fraud.
You have another side.
Bubba knows all about the fraud.
Fraud. Sorry.
That's screaming.
I gotta pee.
You have another side that's screaming fraud. And the person in the middle is just sitting back thinking, so you're trying to tell me you've never believed that there hasn't been fraud in any of these elections? All of these elections there's fraud in. There's probably not one election that's ever happened that there hasn't been fraud. And that's where it's dumb is because, like, if people just accepted that and didn't sit back and be like, there's no way that's true. And then the other side is like, it happens every time. It's like people like to argue. That's what it's come down to. This country right now, it's conversations out the window, comedy's out the window. It's all arguing. And it's exhausting.
Did you watch that video I sent you?
No, I didn't.
Well, fuck you, Jake. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's what this video is about. That video is about because this guy, he's a professor of philosophy out of Portland University. He's going around the
Antifa. Sorry.
No,
I just wanted to yell Antifa, Portland, Oregon. You know.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, but that's what he's saying. Like people don't want to have this conversation because people are so polarized. And a lot of the videos that he had, I even sent one to JT, and he didn't respond to it all. He said,
Probably because I didn't watch it.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you should have said it to me.
No, what you should have said, I'm sorry, Uncle AJ, but could you please define for me what exactly is in it for me before I spend my time watching a 20-minute video that you sent, right?
Are you poking fun at me right now?
No, what I'm saying is that where we are right now? In this world,
you
have to justify. That's what I'm saying.
I'm poking
fun.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. It's like
you could be right. Like, yeah,
I know.
I see what I do.
I don't disagree with anything you
both you guys.
saying.
I'm not even saying my way is right, but like that is where my brain is.
Right. That's the same. I'll give you an example. Why I'm not poking fun at you. I'll give you an example of what you're talking about. When you had who's the guy came in and talked about Bitcoin? G came in. Look, I did Bitcoin due diligence. I did my I still don't understand what the hell that's about, and I spent time on that. I don't
Mhm.
even know what. I still can't explain it. I had students this semester write papers about it. I'm like, good luck trying to explain this to me. I didn't get it. Um, and I understand what you're saying,
Mhm.
but I made the attempt to do it, and I can say that I did it. I just never thought of you as someone who said, "Well, I don't want to explore anything simply because I don't want to."
Well,
I don't know if it's worth
I,
investing time in
you
it.
know me. I like
Huh?
thinking about things. I send you like videos all the time of things people have said, like
I get it.
about thoughtful. You know me. You know what I like.
Right.
But so I get what you're saying, and I'm gonna go home tonight, and I'm gonna think about it, because Jake knows me. I'm not gonna have an answer for you until tomorrow, because that's how my
That's how
brain
he
works.
is.
I don't even need to have an answer at all. It's not an answer it's not a question that needs an answer to me. I'm just asking. It was just a conversation. I think that's what we were talking about. Like Bubba, we were mentioning earlier, is like, is this the greater problem that's in society today? That people just they don't want to have discussions because, as you said, and you talked about this before, of the animosity that people don't talk anymore. They just shout at each other. And there's no way to have a
That's
discussion like
facts.
right now.
Yeah.
It would have been very easy for you to like flip off and say, F you, Uncle AG. I never said
Well,
that. And like be flipping up, but we're having
Yeah.
a discussion.
Yeah.
And all I'm doing is
See?
just asking
And
you
I like it.
questions. And I'm asking you questions. And you're asking me questions.
I
And
like
we're
being
having a discussion.
I like being
We don't
challenged.
do that.
I
And so,
agree.
like, to me,
I
like,
do.
if watching these hearings, it makes me think, it makes me question, it makes me ask questions and think deeply and go in a different direction. That's just something I'm doing to expand my mind. That's all. That's
No,
why. That's all I'm saying.
and
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
I think we got to a point too to where, like, I think people need to realize that the only way this stuff's going to change is if we change the way we handle the government stuff. Like the days of a popularity contest should end. Like if you want real, but see, this is where I get frustrated because they want the power. That's why it's never going to change and it's always going to stay the same way. But if you want something to run properly, you think you would split it into certain like divisions, like science, medical, whatever it is, and you would have these certain people that people could vote for, and that person would handle this problem of the United States or whatever it is. Logically, that is something that would make sense, but unfortunately, then you eliminate the whole politics side of it, super PACs, $1 billion money, Nancy Pelosi's husband being the greatest stock trader of all fucking time. Like, you wouldn't have that stuff anymore.
Well, not to be like, well, I mean, it is radical, but you need to end the two-party system, and that's just never going to happen. Because the people in charge of them are the people that benefit from it, so why would they change?
Yeah.
Amen.
Like, there was just a vote on, I think it's prior protection for, like, gay marriage and, rights along those same-sex issues because of the Supreme Court there's rumblings that they're going to vote on that next. And it's, like, split right down the middle. And, like, every Republican is against it. Like, do you really, like, none of them ever have any family relatives or friends that are homosexual and they care about but it doesn't matter. That's the thing. You are a Republican, so you vote one way, or you are a Democrat, you care about this issue, you're voting this way.
It's just, dude.
And there's no logic behind it. There's no, like, critical, I think this way. It's all, this is my party, I'm going to vote this way.
And it's just like Dick Cheney and his daughter when she was a lesbian and he's a Republican and he was running with George Bush and they had to go and rip gay marriage and say that he wasn't for it. And his daughter is a lesbian, which again, there's nothing wrong with, by the way. Like the fact that there's still one side of a party that doesn't think that you can decide on who you love is just crazy to me.
Yeah.
But it's
so it's like it's becoming that it's not about the issue; it's all about power.
Yeah,
exactly.
And
Exactly
continuation of the
that's what it
system.
is.
And at that point, it's like, what is there any end to it?
so you asked us earlier why we don't critical think, and that's the reason why, because there's nothing we can do about it.
But like there is at a short, because I mean, like who's in office and who's in power matters, but at certain levels, like it all comes down to like the city, and that trickles into the state, and that trickles into the Fed, and then like so it matters, but it's so hard at the same time. You're against a lot.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm. So that's why I think the hearings are important, because you have a president who lost the election, allegedly being accused of trying to overturn the election and to seize power for himself. And so, regardless of whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, you want either party being able to do that. And you have a problem with that in our country.
Well, that's the goal, is to be like, I don't care what I am. That's wrong. But
Yeah.
it's tough.
I know.
It is tough because that is what this country was fucking founded on. Was literally going against the fucking government,
Yeah.
going against the grain. They got in boats and they sailed all the way over here and they killed all these Indians and
That's
Native
literally what the
Americans.
people who.
And then all of a sudden,
all of a that's
sudden,
a point though.
people get here and then they're like, fuck you, who's running this? So we have a civil war for power. One side wins. It's like, why do people think that never could happen again? It's literally happening in Ukraine and Russia right now. Ukraine's been
in our own country.
Well,
right now.
but it not to the Ukraine and Russia
my
thing.
counterpoint is like, Russia's in like third overtime with Ukraine right now.
Facts,
Are
dude.
they really trying to, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they
Do
must
they stink?
suck. They must. Yeah,
And I
They must
understand
suck.
that, like,
I'm with you. They do.
they
stink.
don't want to roll over like rubble. You know what I mean? So they're not just going to bomb it. So like, they are more powerful. I understand that point, but come on.
Listen, I don't disagree with that either. I'm very open-minded when it comes to all this stuff because you don't ever know why somebody's doing what. A lot of people think that Putin has cancer and he's really sick.
Yeah.
And right now he's just like, fuck it. I'm going to do what I can to get the Soviet Union back because the next amount of years I'm going to die.
I think I've said it before. I'm shocked none of his friends have popped him yet.
I know.
Like, all of his like oligarch friends who lost their yachts and shit surprises me.
I agree. Yeah, it's never ending. And then, not to be this kind of guy, but it's like Trump's going to run again, and Trump might win.
And we have the worst opposition of all time on the other side.
Why would somebody vote for Joe Biden,
Yeah.
which what has happened in this country since Trump's left office, just financially wise, I'm not even talking about anything else, just economically for the way people live, because that's what I worry about when I vote for somebody. Why would somebody vote for Biden when they can turn, and again, I'm not even a Trump supporter, dude. I'm just being down the middle here. Why wouldn't you vote for somebody that's going to get gas back down to $2, going to make sure things are here on time, and I don't have to spend a paycheck on my fucking groceries every month, and I can afford to fucking go out to a bar or two every once in a while? And that's just cold. That's how it was. Things have changed.
Yeah.
Things have fucking changed, dude.
Yeah. So we're gonna start a new segment this week.
Let's go.
It's very quick and easy. It's gonna get what's the word? What's the word when the users
Interactive?
Yeah, well, it's interactive. So yeah, that's it. It's called Whose Favorite is the Favorite. So what it is, I'm just gonna ask what's your favorite blank? We'll go around the room, starting with Jake, ending with me. We'll say what our favorite is to the answer. We'll give a nice little explanation. Then I'll put it next week when the episode comes out, I'll put a clip on Twitter with a poll, and we'll ask the people whose favorite is the favorite.
Love it.
I didn't prepare for this.
Well, no, we're starting off with a very easy one. We're only one question a week.
All right.
Very easy question. So we'll start with Jake, and we'll go around the room, ending with me.
Is this just quick hitting?
No, it doesn't have to be quick.
Okay.
You can think about it, give a little explanation as to why.
All right.
What is your favorite comfort movie? And the question is the same for everybody.
I would say right now,
There's no right or wrong question. We're just seeing what the people think is the best answer. Uncle
right
AJ.
now, I would say my favorite comfort movie that I put on would probably still reign to be Big Time Adolescence.
Okay.
So, big Pete Davidson guy, big MGK guy. That movie always makes me laugh. Monroe slinging drugs at his high school party, gets in trouble. It's just one of those nice stoner comedy movies that makes me feel comfortable.
It is.
When
I
watch
agree.
It.
It's a nice just throw on the TV.
You writing
and watch.
these down?
I'll remember. Yeah.
All right,
I
Big
got a
Time
clip.
Adolescence.
We got a video.
I almost said The Shawshank Redemption because I
great
think
movie.
it's arguably the greatest movie of all time, and I think it's the most watchable movie of all time. But for a feel good is kind of the theme, right?
Yeah, just like a comfort movie.
Comfort.
Yeah.
So
Like, you
I
just
think
wanna-
I'm gonna go with Dazed and Confused.
Okay, great
A
answer.
little of the same feeling. It takes place in one day, and it's basically all good, other than like we don't have beer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just a good
I like that.
high school party movie. The soundtrack's really good.
Yeah.
I love it. It's
Good
one of my
answer.
favorite movies.
And Matthew McConaughey, that's his first role,
Yeah.
I believe.
First role, first words on scene.
Yeah.
All right, all right, all right.
That's right.
Electric. Go ahead, Uncle AJ.
I'm going to go with Get Him to the Greek.
Oh,
Ooh,
that's a
great
great
movie.
one.
Great movie.
That's a good one too.
Mm.
Do you have?
See that? You
That's
see
a
that?
great one. Do you have a little
Yeah, I'll
reasoning
get-
as to
yeah.
why?
Well, Russell Brand's in it. It's just, to me, it's the best movie that he's made. But there's something about it's hilarious, but it's also about being able to connect and be able to find, kind of that purpose. And it is. I mean, you laugh during it. It's hilarious, but underneath there's something. It's kind of troubling, and the characters are all kind of sad. But it's nice that they kind of end up in a good place.
Yeah.
And that's why I
Love
think
it.
it's a good.
You
comfort
are
movie.
just an insightful freaking man. That was just a great answer
Honestly,
on the fly.
I'm going to be honest. I like
Yeah.
that we caught you with your pants down and you didn't realize you were going to be on this episode because you're more just goey with the flowy. You don't have your fucking
Dude,
book of
that's the next
papers.
T-shirt. Goey with
goey
the
with the
flow.
flow. You don't have your papers.
Love
you don't
that.
have your fucking persona on. You are being the guy right now, and it's incredible.
Thank you.
You're welcome
Is that a compliment?
from the bottom of my heart.
I believe
I-
so.
I will end with my answer. Still the reigning champion in my eyes. Is best comfort movie for me personally. It has not been beat yet, and I'm gonna go with She's Out of My League.
Great movie.
I just love that movie. It kind of goes with what Harry says. There's nothing really going wrong. Just the bros hanging out. They all work at the airport. They go to the bowling alley, drink some beer. They talk about girls. Just a love story. Rom-com, sucker for a nice love story. And they're just a bunch of nerds, bunch of bros. Love it. She's Out of My League.
Love it.
10 out of 10. All right, and that's all we have today for the first ever Whose Favorite's the Favorite.
All right. One last question. You hate anything?
See, I didn't think I was coming today so I was flustered and I didn't prepare.
That's
If you
fine.
give me 5 seconds, I could probably think of one.
Because I have one thing that
I hate fraud. Keep
There
me
we go.
fucking 20 minutes after work because somebody's an idiot. I hate fraud.
I hate that 90% of the plankton are out of the ocean.
Dude, that's crazy.
Because if that's not fixed, then the entire circle of life is fucked and we're all going to die anyways.
Kind of like the bee thing with
Yeah.
bees too. I actually do hate something. I was thinking about it. I was flipping Netflix Saturday or Sunday, and you know how there's that section, it's like critically acclaimed movies or like award-winning movies, and one of them was The Blind Side. And I just want to be honest, The Blind Side is a terrible movie. The story is good.
Agreed.
I just think the movie is not good at all.
I'm gonna
That's
agree.
what I hate. I hate The Blind Side.
Do you hate anything this week?
I hate what Disney is doing to Marvel right now.
Dude, you're
That's a good
right.
answer.
It's a
do not-
touchy subject,
I
but
do
you're
not-
right. Speak up.
I'm
Old
having
man.
a really hard time. I'm a firm believer. I have my opinion to face for. I have a certain theory I'm going with. I don't want to talk about that. The issue that I have is how they're taking a lot of the male characters and just shifting them over to female characters. It's just, I'm not sexist in any way. I'm great with Captain Marvel. She's wonderful. I like Wanda, Storm. They have their female. I just don't understand how so many of the characters are just being flipped to
Yeah.
female characters being flipped. I just don't. It's just odd to me.
Yeah,
I just
it
don't
is,
like it.
and it's a touchy subject about it, but I not just the female part, just Disney as a whole. Hey, I haven't given up hope, but I agree with you. I think it kind of may be the downfall right now. Maybe they're in the sophomore slump or something, but yes, I agree.
I'm just getting nervous because there are a lot of things that they're introducing to the MCU With that being said, you don't have to do it all at once. Like I saw there was 6 movies came out in phase 1, like 6 came out in phase 2, and then there were like 13 in phase 3, and now there's been like 8 TV shows and like 4 movies in phase 4. Again, I love Marvel stuff. I just think it's okay to slow down. I think we're going too fast.
Did you read that phase 4 is actually longer than phase 1, 2, and 3 put together time-wise?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. Can you
Yeah.
imagine?
So that's that. I agree with what you're saying, but I will hold on hope as long as I can.
Yep.
I gotta go. I will see you guys next
What
time.
the hell?
I have a roller hockey game.
Oh yeah. Hey,
luck,
catch the
Bubba.
stuff.
Roller
I'm
hockey.
gonna try. I got 2 tonight. Yeah,
Playoffs, right?
very, very busy couple of days.
Cool.
Playoffs start. Yes, we have a play-in game first at 7, but we're banking on we're gonna play right after at 8 for the first game of the playoffs.
Let's go. Good luck.
Good luck, Harry.
Thank you. I
What's your
appreciate it.
team's name?
We are the X Blades. Have you ever seen Brink, the Disney movie?
Old Disney movie.
Inline skating. Yeah,
Great one.
they're the bad
Okay,
guys in the
alright,
Disney movie.
Okay. You got any good skaters on your team?
We have a couple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's before you leave? Who's the worst?
Probably me, and that is an honest answer.
Okay. All right.
Probably me.
Appreciate the honesty.
All right, Harry. Good luck.
Good luck.
But
Harold.
tonight, Clay had a golf scramble and he's really drunk, so maybe Clay.
Woo!
Oh, I should. Is there admission fee for that? Because I'd like to go see Clay rollerblades. Oh, forget it. Never mind.
Bye, Bubba.
Goodbye, Harold. Good luck. What time is it?
6:47.
Okay. All right.
We tonight is young. If we got more,
Yeah. Is
there
any-
actually was something on my mind that I found out that you guys may have known, but it kind of blew my mind. Did you guys know corn was man-made?
What?
It was not a naturally made thing by nature.
Really?
I just learned that 2 days ago.
That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing with the
What?
farmland.
What?
To them. They're creating what's I know I didn't know that about corn.
Speaking that mic.
Oh, I didn't know that about corn, but it's the genetically modified food.
Yeah.
That's how they're going to control. Like when the food is gone, they'll have the patents for certain food, and that's the only way that you'll get food in the Great Reset because that's why they're buying up all the farmland. I did not know that. I did not know that
Crazy.
about corn.
I learned that by Angie told me that, and I trust her.
I trust it too.
Them Puerto Ricans, man, them and their food. It's a beautiful thing. We don't appreciate food like they do.
We don't appreciate dick. if
It's
we're being
crazy.
honest.
Like they just appreciate the flavors.
And every
Use every little bit of every ingredient. Don't waste anything. Very beautiful. Beautiful.
Do you
thing.
all cook at home all the time?
Yeah.
Do you cook at home?
I
You still
don't.
No.
I only
You
cook
don't?
sometimes. She loves to cook. I
Yeah.
cook
I could,
not a lot, but every now and then.
I could lose an easy amount of weight if I just cooked at home. But the
Yeah.
problem is I'm not at home.
Yeah, that's what they. It was a feature on the news the other day. It said like it's been tracked, like the rise in people like eating out and not preparing food at home, or even bringing food home. It's not eating at home, but it's the preparation of
yeah.
food. It doesn't take as long, and that's why people are heavier and they're putting on more weight.
I
because
also
the
think
food is-
price wise, it's probably not that much cheaper not that
No.
much cheaper anymore to buy groceries and cook
Yeah,
than to just go buy something, a salad or a fucking sandwich at pickles.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
No, I'm with you.
No, what are you saying again? You think it's better to go out and buy something?
I'm saying right now, I don't
Yes.
think the price is that much different.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like it's pretty much if you go buy something at Kroger, you could go and basically
Like you go buy a bag of which we cook a lot of. I'm not saying it's, like I'm not agreeing with one side or the other, but
What's your favorite food that Angie makes?
It's so funny. We were just having this conversation earlier, and it's very basic, honestly. It's nothing crazy. What I like, I like she makes chicken, just like baked chicken, and then just rice and beans, and then a salad with some onions on it and some Italian vinaigrette, balsamic vinegar, something. That's it, balsamic vinaigrette.
What else do you need?
It's easy and it's so tasty.
What else do you need though?
I told her that earlier today.
For real. What else do you really fucking
Yeah.
need?
That's good.
Yeah.
Did you make anything for her?
Like I said, I don't cook a lot. but when I do, it's very basic as well.
Like what?
Cereal.
Just kind of just chicken and we eat a lot of chicken and rice and beans. We do, and salad.
Good
That's what
shit.
we eat a lot of that.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say?
No, everything's on backyard brawl game day. That's
Oh,
what I
yeah,
had that on
that's
my list.
awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the game day crew of college football is going to Pittsburgh for the backyard brawl Thursday
really?
night. So
Oh,
The first game of the season, so that's pretty cool. It's
That'll be
exciting news.
very exciting,
Do you have
actually.
tickets for that?
I'm up in the air.
I haven't bought them yet. I
I'm
haven't
game
decided.
time.
Yeah, I don't know. I would like to go,
I would like to go too.
but it's for some. This is just. Sometimes I enjoy it more when I'm watching on a TV
I
like,
do.
with a group of people. Sometimes I enjoy that more.
I have more fun when the TV's cranked. Everybody's got a beer in their hand, a dip in their mouth. Everybody's yelling at the TV. I enjoy that.
But yes, but to your same point, I was thinking this is like big history, like
It
one of the
is.
games we'll probably talk about when we're old. Like you
When
remember
they brought the
yeah,
brawl
remember
back.
when they brought the backyard brawl back and College Game Day was there and we
Yep.
were there type thing. So
And Pitt'll be ranked too.
yeah, so we'll see.
Might just, dude. Maybe this is the game we drop like $500 on, and get like a suite.
Yeah, I bet you they're more than $500.
I mean, per person.
Yeah, true. I don't
Would
know,
you go?
A suite? What do you mean, like suite?
like a
what?
box.
Like a box in Heinz Field?
That would be cool. Very cool.
Can you spend the night there? I mean,
Pittsburgh?
yeah. I mean, like in the suite. Is that what it is? It's like a
No.
hotel suite.
Now
No.
that would be something.
understand
but
what you're
no.
saying.
No, like a box suite at a football game. Like there's
Oh.
food in there. There's
Whoa.
alcohol in there
Oh,
already.
man.
Like
And you just have your
TVs.
people like.
Yeah, you're like
No.
enclosed.
Man, that would be some serious
Be
moolah
some
for
serious
that.
Oh yeah, big
some
time.
serious stuff.
Big time.
But yeah,
Oh,
no,
no.
that is exciting. Very
Yeah, that'd be
exciting
cool.
stuff.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I guess really the only other thing I do want to say again is like it is kind of crazy that 90% of the plankton are out of the ocean. And like that's what whales eat to survive.
I just saw the headline. Do you know why?
I
I don't know why. I didn't read it.
I don't. I
I
don't know
I
why.
actually saw that headline today.
And I mean, I'm assuming it has something to do with what's in the water. I mean,
Honestly, no. It probably has to do with freaking humans fishing and
Or the
accidentally
climate.
killing
Yeah.
everybody. Not killing everybody.
jeez, dude, they're just
Accidentally
fishermen.
killing.
Yeah, all the fish.
Pollution and all that. Everything adds up.
Yeah.
I mean, we're the aliens on this planet. Let's be
amen.
honest
Legit.
about it. I mean, God didn't God create us last?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Whoa.
saying. So if you want to like flip this,
You
and,
have
like,
a
say,
point.
Like the world was here, and all the animals and the plants, and everything were here, and God, created man, and He created woman, and said, "You guys are in charge," and like, look what we've done.
Yeah. And it's just weird to think that monkeys are like literally in our family. Like monkeys are us. And it makes you think why we
Well, yeah.
are the
and
ones
that
that
but
are advanced.
back to your point about monkeys and seeing how intelligent they are and how a lot of animals are intelligent. And this is just people's brains are worked differently. Like I just can't believe how much humanity continues to like abuse and just not appreciate or respect other life on the
crazy.
planet. It blows my mind. It does.
Yeah, but then you see that video. Did you see the video of like the elephant and the baby elephant that got stuck in the trench?
Yeah. Yeah. And
Oh,
they,
and
And
yes.
like the
mom
mother,
picks it up,
the mother's
yeah.
trying to get out,
Yeah.
and she just like she has a stroke there, and the people are like saving, like
Yeah, see,
doing
yeah, there's a
CPR,
lot
not
of good
CPR,
people.
but, like,
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. There's a lot of good people
like-
on this world, but it's just one of those sad things. We drive down the road, and how many dead deer do we see, and nobody even cares. It's just
Nobody
like
gives
a
a
dead.
fuck.
Here's a dead freaking body on the side of the road, and
Everybody's more worried about their deductible that they're going to have to pay, not that they just
yeah,
took
but
a
that's
life
a
of
whole
an
other
animal.
hour. We don't got.
We ain't got time for
got
That's
that.
time
true.
for
I
that.
know, right?
But
We'll
all
have to
right,
do
guys.
Uncle AJ part 2. We'll have to do what episode is this?
139, 138.
Oh, this may have
139?
been my 20th. I come once every 20 episodes.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's 139.
Yeah,
I had a whole sheet with all of my appearances listed.
Gotta add it.
yeah. Add it up.
I do. I have it because I was really angry before. But I'm
Episode
okay now.
episode 139. Let's say a prayer.
Mhm.
There
There
it is.
There it is.
All right.
With that being said, it's been a time. Follow me Twitter and Instagram at Juice Fisherman. Make sure to subscribe to the Juice Box Podcast on YouTube and keep liking, subscribing. We appreciate all of you. And I hope that you think Big Time Adolescence is the best. Thanks.
Uncle AJ, thank you for coming. I always love when you come because we really dive deep, into some thought, and I appreciate that. It's good for the soul. It's good for the mindset. Thank you for coming. And you can follow me at John Theodore Nixon on Instagram. That's John Theodore Nixon on Instagram. I'm on the Juicebox Podcast Twitter. That's at the Juicebox Pod. That's at the Juicebox Pod. Follow us on Facebook, the Juicebox Podcast. We are not the Diabetes, the Juicebox Podcast.
I don't even know what I'm doing anymore with my life. I know I've been on sabbatical for like 2 months. I'm going to deal with it on my next podcast episode, which is coming out next week. I'm going to bare my soul and just talk to you a little bit about what my life has been like. And I'm okay now. I'm
Good.
Okay. But yeah, what's up, buddy? And time and space. And hey, I have my new store out, and I'll talk about that there.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that too much.
We got a little preview.
Yeah, a little preview.
Yep.
All right.
And you can follow Bubba Slider, Tiggy Nation at Tiggy Nation, and Big Czar at Juicebox Czar. That's ZAR. Z as in zebra, A as in apple, R as in Reebok. Don't get it twisted. Bye-bye.